Hey guys, what's up? It's Samantha, and today I'm going to be memory keeping last week, the week of November 7th through the 13th, and I am using this Pink Diamond Planner Co. Christmas kit from last year. I believe this was exclusive art to her shop, and I really loved the vintagey classic Christmas colors in this. I thought it was very, very pretty, and I had planned on using it last year, but I ended up not memory keeping the end of last year in my memory keeping planner. And I have all of these Christmas kits that I didn't get to from last year. And I wanted to make sure I got to use all of my Christmas kits this year. So I decided to do a Christmas spread in November. Normally, I try not to do Christmas or holiday spreads until after Thanksgiving. But I figured since you guys are seeing this a week later and I just want to use the stuff I have. I thought it would be okay. I'm a little short on fall spreads this year anyways. I wasn't really paying attention to what I needed for spreads. Normally I'm pretty good about going through and planning how many of each different seasonal or holiday kit I need based off what I already have. And I did not do that this year because I had bigger fish to fry. But I'm really excited that I finally got to use this kit. And I pulled in the Gold Snowflake Foil Bundle from Scribble Prints Co. And I'm really glad I did because this week ended up being the first snow of the season, which I didn't know when I did the layout of this because I did the layout at the end or the middle of last week just to have it done. That way I could make sure I got another plan with me up for you guys this week. I'm trying really hard to make sure I am consistent and I stay on track now that life is kind of starting to slow down. I also just wanted to thank you guys so much for the really lovely and wonderful comments you left last week. I got so many just really kind comments and I was a little nervous to share about my miscarriage, and I just really thank you guys so much for the really lovely words of support, and your thoughtfulness just really means a lot to me. So thank you for being understanding and for being awesome and for still coming back to watch my videos despite how sporadic and all over the place I've been for the last 2 years. I'm really starting to feel especially this past week, things are settling down and it kind of felt like real life again. That's honestly how Joe and I have been talking about it. The last year and a half has felt like we've been on the world's weirdest vacation from real life. It just has been so chaotic and all over the place, and all of our routines that we've kind of established over our the last decade we've been together just sort of got thrown out the window, and everything has just felt really bizarre and off. So it felt nice this past week to actually have some routine again. And part of that is also filming Plan With Me's and, doing all of that kind of stuff that I used to be very consistent about. So, yeah, I feel like life might actually be normal again, which is weird because it felt like it was never going to be normal again. But this last week was really nice in terms of things stopped cropping up, issues stopped cropping up, and I was able to kind of get a little bit of downtime and start doing a lot of the things that I really like to do again. I know that sounds weird, but I basically haven't watched YouTube planner videos or booktube videos, even from my favorite creators, people that no matter how busy I've been in the past, I always found time to watch their videos. I have not played video games for months. I haven't planned. All of these things sort of stopped happening just because I was so stressed out and so crazy busy, and my brain just felt like soup all the time. And I feel like I rediscovered YouTube this week, which sounds really, really silly when I say it out loud. But I have months and months of backlog from all of my favorite creators to watch through, basically. And part of that is we don't have living room furniture right now. So our TV and my super old sofa are upstairs in our game room. So I don't have a TV downstairs, and I kind of forget about the game room, which sounds really silly, but I kind of forget that that is a place I can go during the day and watch TV, you know, for even just 15 or 20 minutes, or watch YouTube. And I don't know. Yeah, it was just like really weird. I'm like, wow, I can like come up here and watch YouTube if I want. And it's like, I forgot I could do that. So yeah, this week was really nice, and I kind of got a lot of stuff back on track. I did a ton of laundry. I did meal planning, and sort of figured out like a good system for how to meal plan like a kind of consistent weekly rotation. So that was a good discovery. But anyways, this week, like I said, was the first snow of the year. And then the other really big thing is I went to go see Hairspray with my mom in downtown Columbus, which was really fun. We've gone to see several musicals and shows this year, and that's been a really nice thing to do together because my mom and I have very different like hobbies and tastes, and like we get along great, but we don't have a lot of overlap in our interests, and musicals are like the only thing that both of us really, really enjoy. So it's been nice now that we're in the same place to have like that thing to do together. And like I always have a built-in like someone who will go with me to a show. Like she'll just go see whatever, and that's really nice. So on Monday I slept in, and then I woke up and basically just went on a cleaning rampage before I even made my coffee. I was so sick of like everything upstairs just being like 20% dirty all the time. Like I would wipe stuff up, but it was like nothing, it was never 100% clean all at once. So I sort of blitzed through the upstairs and vacuumed and cleaned bathrooms and did all that. And then I made my coffee and went and sat in my library and read while I had my coffee. I also did a ton of laundry on Monday, and I bought more pillows for our guest bedroom because my brother-in-law is flying in from Chicago for Thanksgiving, and he is staying with us the night he comes in because my in-laws live like way farther out from the airport than we do. So since he's coming in late, he's just gonna come here from the airport so that he doesn't have to drive like 45 minutes out into the country. So, and then it was like trash day here is on Tuesday, and I try to go through on Monday nights and collect all of the trash from all of like the trash cans upstairs and downstairs. I like to have a clean slate and get all of the trash and recycling out for the week. So I ran around and did that, and then I actually cooked a nice dinner, which was worth noting because I basically haven't cooked in weeks. So, and I got to use my cute new Fox and Cactus Christmas cooking girls, which are super adorable. And then Joe and I played Mario Rabbids on Monday night. I am absolutely obsessed with this game. I loved the first Mario Rabbids a lot, and this has a slightly different combat style, but it's just very fun. I really like turn-based games, and I'm enjoying it. I almost wish it was a longer game. I'm almost done with it. So, yeah, we played a lot of Mario Rabbids this week. And then on Tuesday, I went to go vote, which was a little surreal because I went, like, the voting location was a church that we, like, went to for a few years when I was in high school, and I hadn't been back in there in forever. And I was like, this is weird. Like, that's the one thing I didn't really think about, moving back to a place where I grew up, and like all of this stuff. I keep getting like weird deja vu where I feel like I'm 18 again, but I'm 33. So it's odd. And I went and voted really early because our HVAC guy was coming, like I think the window was 12 to 5, but he ended up coming earlier in the day, and he got the issue fixed. Our air conditioning had stopped working. Like our thermostat would call for air, but the fan in the like air conditioning unit wasn't spinning. And when they had to rewire our circuit, like the whole panel in our furnace was fried and had to be replaced. And when the guy replaced it, he had like swapped 2 wires by accident with the AC. So that's why it wasn't working. So he just like swapped the wires back and it worked. So it just took a while to figure out what exactly was wired incorrectly. So he was here for a while, but it all ended up okay. And then I called my mom afterwards, and we ended up getting pizza delivered. We are kind of like farther out from, like only by like 5 more minutes, but we're like a little bit farther out than our apartment complex was for like food delivery. So basically the only thing that delivers out here is pizza. So whenever it's like, okay, we need to get something delivered, the option is just pizza. So we got pizza delivered that night. And then we played Mario Rabbids, and I also bought my Christmas tree. There was a sale on, I'm like blanking on, it's like a really nice artificial tree brand, and they had a sale going and an additional 20% off if it was your first purchase. And so I didn't buy like the jumbo tree that I'm going to need for my living room because we don't have furniture in there right now, but I did buy like a 7.5 like normal ceiling height Christmas tree that I'm going to put in my library this year, but I figure I can put it in like our game room or our sunroom. Like there's lots of other places. We have like so many living spaces in this house where a tree would work in the future, like for multiple Christmas trees. So this year I'm going to put that tree in front of the window in my library, and then it'll look pretty like from the street. So I got my Christmas tree, and then I could not fall asleep on Tuesday night. I always get really bad anxiety after every single election. Like it's for the last, I don't know, like 8 years or 6 years, however many years it's been, who knows, it's a time warp. 6 years, I get like really bad anxiety every like election cycle. So I had trouble sleeping on Tuesday night. And then Wednesday, I basically just had a really lazy day. I had coffee, I read. The only productive thing I did was baking a loaf of bread for Joe's sandwiches for the rest of the week. And then I took a really lovely bath. It was like the first bath I'd taken in weeks. And it's the first one I've taken since I installed like my rainbow LED lights in the bathroom. So I got to take a like very like ambient bath. It was very cozy to have, you know, like soft, like sunset kind of like pinks and oranges. And like I read in the bath, and then Joe and I played Mario Rabbids, and then I ended up staying up to read in bed because I was reading my Arc of Happy Place by Emily Henry, which I really, really loved. And I stayed up till like 1:30 reading until I was like falling asleep reading my book in bed. I didn't quite finish it, but I finished it the next morning and I loved it. Wednesday, I woke up and had my coffee and finished reading Happy Place. And then I did reading sprints with like, I joined Olivia Reads Latte's Patreon just because I'm home during the day a lot. So she does reading sprints during the day on weekdays pretty frequently. And I like to do those. It kind of gets me like motivated to focus, and like it's like someone's keeping me on task, whether I'm cleaning or reading. So I did reading sprints, like with her reading sprints, and then I organized my stickers and was getting everything in my office ready to start doing Plan With Me's again. And I did a whole bunch of laundry on this day as well. I don't know where this laundry comes from with just 2 of us. I feel like it multiplies like rabbits. And it's probably because Joe has been working out a ton recently, so it's like double the clothes. And then I filmed my Plan With Me and edited and like did all that. And then Joe ended up getting McDonald's for dinner. We did not eat super healthy this week, so this is like unusual, but it was just sort of like I needed time to like reset everything. So, and then we played Mario Rabbids that night. And then on like Thursday night into Friday, or I guess like early Friday morning, I woke up and had really bad insomnia. I ended up listening to a couple hours of my audiobook of Babel, just like laying in bed, trying to fall asleep. So, you know, I've been trying like not to get too upset if I like wake up and I can't fall asleep. It's like, you know, I got a couple hours of audiobook chill time in a cozy bed, like not the end of the world, and I can sleep in the next day if I need to. But I did like had my coffee and planned on Friday morning, and then I got my period, and it was like the first period since I had my miscarriage, and my doctor had warned me that it might be worse than usual, but it was like, it's like the worst period I've ever had in my entire life. And I had excruciating cramps. Like I usually have pretty bad cramps, but I had cramps for like 4 days this time. And they were really, really bad. And I was super nauseous and like just having intestinal issues. And so I felt like really gross and sick on top of it. So that was really not fun. And I 0 out of 10 do not recommend. It was really, really cruddy. So I ended up playing Mario Rabbids by myself that afternoon because I was just like curled up on the sofa, and I was like, I texted Joe and I'm like, I'm playing it without you. Like, sorry, not sorry. And then Olivia had more Patreon reading sprints on Friday afternoon, and I did more like planner stuff and listened to my audiobook during the sprints. And then Joe picked up Olive Garden on his way home from work, and we watched Great British Bake Off. It was the second to last episode of the season, so I'm excited to see who wins this week. And then on Saturday, I basically woke up with the worst cramps, like even worse than the day before. And I almost called my mom and canceled, like I was going to be like, do you want to take one of your friends or like take dad? Just like take my ticket. I don't care. But I was like, okay, I can pull through. We like meet up at Polaris because it's kind of like between both of our houses, and then she was driving us downtown anyways. So I'm like, well, I only have to drive like a little bit, and then my mom's going to drive the rest of the way, and I'll just sit and whatever. And this was the day it was snowing, so it actually ended up being like a really pretty drive to go meet up with my mom. But yeah, so we went to go see Hairspray, and then afterwards when she like drove me back to where my car was parked, we ended up like, we started talking in the car, and we ended up talking, like sitting in the car for like 3 hours. We didn't even like mean to. And my dad called and he was like, are you okay? Like, where are you? Like, what's going on? Why aren't you home? Like, he was thinking something happened to her. And we just like were sitting and talking about like, it was just like one of those like really nice, like conversations where you just like start talking and you like talk about everything, and it was just like really nice. But we were like laughing, like we set a record for like longest conversation sitting in a parked car. But that was really nice. And then on my way home from like where my car was parked, I called my youngest brother and talked. We hadn't like talked in a while. He like never answers his phone. He's really bad about like responding to things. But we talked for like half an hour, which was cool. And then I got home and realized all of like my Christmas tree boxes were sitting on the front porch. It came in like a bunch of different boxes, and they were really, really heavy. And I had to like drag all these like super heavy boxes in, and I was like very, very irritated at the heavy boxes. It was noteworthy enough to put in my planner. And then I watched a ton of YouTube on Saturday night, which is really nice to like get caught up on just a lot of different videos, like going back months and months. I was watching Never Too Small, which is a tiny house, like small apartment channel, and I really like their videos. I find them very soothing, and there's lots of cool organizational ideas and stuff. So I haven't watched any of their videos in months, and so I watched like probably, 15 videos of theirs on Saturday night, which was quite nice. And then Sunday, I woke up and made my coffee and read. I did laundry. I had a ton of bedding to wash, and like besides just my normal sheets, I washed like all of our other, like the bedding I don't necessarily wash every week, like comforters and that sort of stuff. And so that was, and washed towels, and I think I did like 6 loads of laundry on Sunday. I really don't know where it comes from. And then Joe and I played Mario Rabbids like all afternoon. We ordered pizza again because I had no food in the house at all. And then I had really, really bad cramps again on Sunday night, like really, really awful, and my stomach was super upset, and it was just like all around like not a great time. And I ended up going to bed pretty early just because I really didn't feel well. So yeah, so this is the finished spread, and I am absolutely obsessed with how this turned out. I'm really glad I went ahead and did the Christmas a little early. I am not decorating my house until December 1st, but like I'll let it slide in my planner. So Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you in my next one. Bye, guys.